It's KP's Video News in the Funk Groove.
That's right, it's KP Video News. And, we're going to get into these stories here. Tuesday, I always got to check my calendar, April 28th. And we're going to start with this story here, a very disturbing story of a black grandmother that was denied testing 4 times before dying from the coronavirus. And this happened in Detroit. Deborah Gatewood, a 63-year-old healthcare worker from Michigan, has died due to complications of the coronavirus after she was reportedly denied a test multiple times from the very hospital where she worked. Gatewood, who worked at Beaumont Hospital for 31 years, reportedly showed COVID-19 symptoms, including cough and fever, in the 3rd week of March. They, Beaumont, sent her home saying, "You are showing signs of COVID-19. Her daughter, Gatewood's daughter, said. So they were confirming that she most likely had COVID-19, but they did not test her. Gatewood reportedly visited the ER 4 times and requested to be treated, but was told to just rest at home and take cough medicine. Her condition continued to worsen until she was found unresponsive in bed. She was taken in an ambulance to Sinai Grace Hospital in Detroit, where she was tested positive for the virus after battling extremely high fever and developing pneumonia. She sadly died. Carruthers expressed her disappointment with Beaumont Hospital, saying they have neglected her mother's severe condition. The fact that she got infected by doing her job she did for 31 years and she couldn't get taken care of by her own family, meaning Beaumont Hospital, where she worked at, is sad and disheartening to say the least, she said. Meanwhile, Beaumont Hospital is yet to comment on a particular case, but said, as patients come to Beaumont for care during the pandemic, we are doing everything we can to evaluate, triage, and care for patients based on information we know at the time. We grieve the loss of any patient to COVID-19 and other illnesses. And this kind of hits home with me because I have a cousin that lives in Chicago that is a hospital worker that actually came down with COVID-19, with the coronavirus, and was admitted into the hospital where he worked, and he was there for a couple of weeks. They sent him home with an oxygen tank, and about 3 days later, he was unresponsive on the floor and had to be rushed back to the hospital again, but this time they took him to a different hospital, and so far they said the last report I heard, he was doing a little better, but he was basically neglected by the very same hospital he worked in, similar to what this lady went through. Terrible situation, man. Terrible situation. Figures Foundation donates over 700 units of personal protection equipment, PPE, to healthcare workers on the front lines. And Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the Figures Foundation, a charitable arm of African-American-owned telecommunications firm Figures Communications, aims to bring awareness and provide solutions to real-life issues, committed to making the world a better place by donating a percentage of the company's profits and its personal income to pro-social efforts. Philanthropist and CEO Freddie Figures has spearheaded a campaign to provide critical assistance to thousands of healthcare workers on the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis. The Florida-based nonprofit is donating and distributing approximately 700,000 units of PPEs to coronavirus outbreak hotspots around the country. These hotspots include hospitals and healthcare workers in New York, Washington State, California, Georgia, Maryland, New Jersey, Florida, and Michigan. The donations include some of the most crucial PPE equipment such as surgical masks, N95 masks, face shields, and hazardous material protective coveralls. And he said when he saw the virus in China and how it affected the nearly 1.5 billion population, I knew it was only a matter of time before it struck home here in America, said Figures. I knew the pandemic could potentially overwhelm our healthcare system, and he began planning to gather critical supplies such as PPEs, anticipating that access to protective gear could become an issue for healthcare professionals on the front lines. I was able to purchase these supplies directly from the manufacturers before they would be overwhelmed themselves. We are grateful to be able to make this contribution and stand with American first responders as they work tirelessly to battle this global health crisis. Is personally committed to doing everything in his power to make the world a better place. That's got to ring the bell on him. That's Freddie Figures, and I had did an article on him a couple of months ago about some of the wonderful things that he was doing, and this is just goes to show he's still doing it. And that's for more information about the Figures Foundation or to get involved, you can visit www.figuresfoundation.org, and that's FIGGERSFOUNDATION.org, figuresfoundation.org. That's Freddie Figures over there. And so I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna come back to the other one. It's a little silly story. I think I might have touched on it a little bit the other day, but anyway, it's a bored teen rescued after getting stuck in a washing machine playing hide and seek. Tisk tisk tisk. Amari Dancy, an 18-year-old teen from Northern Virginia, reportedly got stuck in a washing machine during a game of hide and seek while quarantining at home. Her family had to call emergency services to have her rescued. On Sunday night around 11 p.m., Dancy was playing hide and seek with her cousins when she thought of hiding inside the washing machine so she could win the game. We already had hid underneath the bed in the closet. We couldn't go down to the basement, so I was like, okay, let's hide in the washing machine. One of the family members saw her inside the washing machine and realized she was stuck. They called the Prince Williams County Fire and Rescue, and to help her get out, at least 4 officers came to rescue her by removing the top of the machine to pull her out. I was really worried to see if they were going to get me out or not. Once they figured out what to do, I just felt relieved and I wanted to be out of there, Dancy added. Dancy's aunt, Suni, shared pictures and videos of the incident and how she was rescued. Nancy also took to Twitter about what happened. She said, I was playing hide and seek with my little cousins. I got into the washing machine easily, but no room to move to get out. I didn't pop anything. That was the sound of the washer, and so she said she did win the game. Okay, you won the game, but you got stuck. Now your folks got to buy a whole new washing machine because of you and your silly game over there. Now here's another lady here. 99-year-old woman beats the coronavirus, becomes the oldest U.S. patient to survive. All right, so here we go. We have Maud Burke, an African-American woman from Georgia who is almost 100 years old, has recovered from the coronavirus. She is the oldest person in the United States to survive the disease so far. While studies show that adults aged 65 and above have higher risk of having worse complications that may lead to death, Burke successfully beat COVID-19. She was hospitalized at Phoebe Putney Health System for 17 days until she was allowed to be released. In a video the hospital posted on Facebook, the nurses and medical workers can be seen waiting for her on the hospital hallways to cheer her on as she was wheeled out of the hospital in a hospital bed. We continue to celebrate with our COVID-19 patients when they get well enough to go home from our hospitals, the Post read. This celebration was extra special. Maud Burke is the oldest COVID-19 patient we've been able to discharge. Her strength and determination are amazing, and we wish her well that she continues to recover. Thanks for being an inspiration, Miss Maud. Moreover, Burke is said to be currently staying at home with her family. So, Maud Burke, almost 100 years old. Yep, Them old people were strong back in the day, boy. They was out there doing all that farm work and everything. So yeah, they are built a whole lot sturdier than these young people are today. A whole lot sturdier. So hey, I got to give her another ring. Maud Burke, almost 100 years old, African American, survived the coronavirus. Get on out of here, virus. Take that. Kick the virus ass.